to you live from Track Major Studios in Austin, Texas. I am TimWayne.
The UncleGhandi.
And we are Us on Everything podcast. We got a number of things to cover on our first episode. You know, we're going to go ahead and get some... I just laughed at I just messed that up.
Did you laugh at yourself?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I did. But yes, this is episode number 1, so forgive us for the mistakes. The track is provided by Track Majors, by the way. So, yeah, if you need some beats, Track Majors is where you need to hit them up at. On Instagram, of course. Let's go ahead and get right on into some stuff here. So, what do you think, man?
Hey, you know, before we get started, I just want to real quick. Maybe we should, since it is episode 1, we should give everybody a little bit intro of ourselves, right?
Oh, of course.
So tell them who you are. Why do you like the teams that you like? What teams do you like, so that people can stop caring already?
Okay. Well, I'm TimWayne. Everybody calls me TimWayne or Tim, whatever you want to call me. It doesn't matter. I'm a Cowboys fan, as you can see. I'm wearing the blue star today. I know I can feel the hate in here already. But, yeah, I mean, I was born and raised a Cowboys fan. I'm also a UT fan as well, so hook 'em horns. But yeah, I don't like anybody else, and that is about it.
What a boring life you live. You know what's crazy is you still get enough entertainment out of both of those teams.
I mean, hey, look, the Cowboys is what it is. It's America's team. If you want to hate, you can hate, but we are self-proclaimed the America's team, and people have rode with it for 60+ years. So it's just what it is.
Whatever. Anyway, so my name's UncleGhandi, the UncleGhandi, actually. I'm actually a first-generation sports fan, so I don't have any loyalties to anybody. I basically grew up and picked my own teams because nobody in my family watches sports, and that's immigrant family, man.
Yeah, my mom watched the Cowboys during the 90s, so it was kind of easy. My uncle watched the Cowboys during the 90s, so it was very easy. My dad was a Cowboys fan, God rest his soul, but he was a Cowboys fan and a Longhorn fan.
My mom didn't know who the Cowboys were until 2008.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you know, that's
2008?
Yeah.
How long did you live in Texas before she knew what the Cowboys were?
10 years.
Jesus.
You got to think, again, I was a first-generation sports fan, so my story began, I actually don't, and this is part of the reason why I don't have like a loyalty to one city, right?
Right.
Because I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah.
So I was just be like, hey, man, I really like that guy.
Right.
So we lived in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay.
When I was a kid, 1994 to 1998. And everybody knows who went to the University of Tennessee.
Peyton
Manning.
Good old Peyton Manning.
Yep. So, you know, I had this uncle that we would go to. We'd go to their house for a party.
Okay.
And when we went to their house, we would he'd be watching. He would watch the Gators and the Vols.
Yeah.
And that was the only time. That was probably that was the only time the Vols beat the Gators, right? Peyton Manning's junior year. So
you had Peyton. You got Peyton Manning and T. Martin.
Yeah. So let me tell you the crazy part. So that summer when Peyton Manning declared for the draft, we moved to Texas.
Oh wow.
So Peyton Manning gets drafted by the Colts.
Right.
That's the only guy I know, right?
So that's where you're going.
Yeah, that's my team. So that's how I became a Colts fan.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, hey, man, that's. I mean, that's where your loyalty lies, right?
Yeah.
Were you a Broncos fan when Peyton went to Broncos?
I mean, I cheer for Peyton. I wasn't a Broncos fan.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to just cheer for some other team after. I mean,
I'm still a Colts fan. I mean, obviously, look.
Right.
Hey, I suffered through the Andrew Luck, Ryan Grigson, you fucked his life over era. That was cool. And then stuck through Old Man Rivers, and he took us to the playoffs.
Speaking of playoffs, a lot of action.
Lots of action,
man. We got a number of games that we're going to cover. Basically, we're going to cover all the games that happened over the weekend. I would like to start with the Rams.
Okay.
Versus, Jesus, I just had a brain fart. Who they play?
Packers.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron. Number 12. Hey, listen. That is your 2020 MVP, guys. If you didn't hear it anywhere, if you haven't heard it anywhere, you'll hear it here. Aaron Rodgers has been playing lights out. Devontae Adams, same thing. They have been running roughshod over everybody. God, I mean, so here was my thing with the Rams game, right? I felt like I just felt like the Rams offensive line just didn't give any opportunity for any plays to get like pulled off at all.
Yeah,
It was constant pressure the entire game.
what's crazy about that is you don't really know. Like, I don't know. I haven't really watched the Rams a lot.
Right.
I know Jared Goff is beat up.
Right. Messed up though.
Yeah, on his throwing arm. On his throwing hand, it had like stitches on it, right?
Yeah, he had surgery, if I'm not mistaken, a week before.
That's a great run line. They
Right.
run the ball very well.
Right.
And again, it goes to show because they lost Todd Gurley, they just kind of inserted Cam Akers.
Cam Akers is really solid. That he had a great game.
Yeah.
He had a great game.
He did whatever he wanted.
Right. But they got away from it though. And you can't win the game completely by running. I mean, the Packers have been known to give up a lot of runs or big runs throughout the years, but that day was just not the day that they were giving up those big runs.
They've been playing like that for 3 or 4 weeks now. They didn't give anything to Derrick Henry.
No, not at all. And I thought Derrick Henry was going to eat them alive.
I did too. I think the Packers are that team right now that I just feel like you're not going to beat them.
Right.
And Aaron, this is probably the best team Aaron Rodgers has ever played behind. Even better than the Super Bowl team he played behind.
Okay, so it does feel like that. It definitely, and I hate to use the coined term, team of destiny, but it definitely feels like that.
Yeah.
Like over the last couple of days, at first I was like, oh, I think the Seahawks will beat the Packers. Of course, they got bounced out, but it's kind of hard to not like what they're doing. And watching him on Pat McAfee, his Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, where he comes in and does interviews, he's really been transparent with what's going on, and it's really hard for me to not like him anymore.
Yeah,
it's kind of like how, and I hate to veer off topic, but I used to not like Kobe. Like young Kobe, like from 2000,
arrogant Kobe.
Yeah, the arrogant Kobe from like when he got drafted till about like 2003, 2004. I did not like Kobe. After that point, I was like, okay, I kind of got it. Nike started marketing him more. They started doing these campaigns. They had the Kobe system eventually, and then from that point on, when he started doing those type of things where he was more I guess available to the public.
Yeah.
He was more public facing. That's when I began to like him a little bit more.
I actually didn't like Kobe up until Pau Gasol Kobe.
So that was 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
2008, 2010, up in there.
And I think getting somebody like a Pau Gasol, I think, although, again, going off the rails, NBA fans cry and complain about Chris Paul. Chris Paul not going to the Lakers is probably the best thing that happened. Because I feel like he would have ran into another Shaq situation, only because that's Chris Paul. That was Chris Paul's prime.
Right.
So
he was going to demand the ball.
Exactly.
Period.
As the point guard.
Yeah.
So it wasn't going to be Kobe's team. Anyway, going back to Aaron Rodgers, right? So right. I think this is just that team of destiny, if you will. Great running game. They don't have just one running back, right?
They've got three.
Yeah. This isn't just Aaron Jones doing stuff. They've got 3 running backs.
Yeah.
They have a defensive line that's playing really well right now. And they have a secondary that's playing lights out.
Yeah. Ladarius Smith is actually having a very solid year as well.
And, Ladarius Smith, and then your linebackers. Oh, Zadarius Smith,
the
linebacker.
Zadarius, my bad.
And, Keon Clark on the defensive line.
Yeah. But,
I think Packers really, really solid. Let's go ahead and talk about Ravens-Bills. This game is probably the most – to me, it was the most anticipated.
Right.
But ended up being the most boring game.
Well, I mean,
for a half.
Well, T's and P's to Lamar Jackson because he did.
Oh yeah, the concussion.
The game.
Hopefully it gets better.
I'm kind of upset that they didn't have RG3 as a backup. I think RG3 would have been able to, I guess, circle the wagons a little bit better because he's been in those situations. Even as a rookie, he was thrown into like a shit show at Washington. I think with that experience, RG3 would have been able to circle the wagons a little bit better than a rookie quarterback coming in, because he looked like a deer in headlights.
Up until that point, though, I think the Ravens did a horrible job of moving the ball, especially against the Bills team that just a week ago, right? That defense,
right?
People don't realize that defense a week ago gave up 470 yards.
Yeah.
To an offense that is far less superior than the Ravens. Sorry. again, according to the people's eyes, statistically, the Colts offense is far superior than the Ravens. But
right
to the visual eye, right, the Ravens had the best run offense in the league. The Colts ran for almost 200 yards. And the Ravens, I don't know how many yards they ran for, but it wasn't even 100, I don't think.
I think Lamar Jackson had majority of those runs because remember he broke off that big run against the Colts right before the halftime.
The Titans.
I'm sorry, right before halftime against the Titans.
Yeah.
The Ravens have an issue. They've got talented receivers, but they don't have a number one. It's clear that they don't have a number one. I'm glad that they brought in Des Bryant. I really like Hollywood Brown, but nobody has stood out to me as a number one receiver for Baltimore.
They need to move Hollywood to the slot. Hollywood reminds me, and if he can improve his route running, he's a T.Y. Hilton to me. He has the ability, except faster.
I think
he has the ability to prolong his career.
Right.
If you move him to the slot,
right.
Go get another. It doesn't even have to be a number one. Go get a big receiver.
Right.
A guy that's a safety blanket for Lamar because, again, to me, to help a quarterback like Lamar, you have to be able to give him some bigger receivers because he can be a little erratic with the ball.
Right.
Just a little. I mean, just a little like. So, while we're talking about Alabama,
okay,
let's talk about something close to Alabama, which now means something close to Texas.
Right.
Coach Sark. He's making some moves. He's the new Texas coach for those of you guys that don't know.
Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns. I wish we had some Texas music.
Nah, we can't do that. DMC and YouTube do not play
YouTube,
nicely.
Hey, man, what to do? I'll give you – I have 25 cents in my savings. I'll give it to you. I got you.
No,
quarter.
thank you.
All right. Well, we tried. Anyway.
Yeah, we're not trying to get kicked off episode 1.
It would be – that's how you get followers, baby. You get kicked off, and then you start it all over again. Maybe that's not the right way. Anyway.
This fucking show sucks.
What?
I said this show stinks, man. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, okay. Give me your thoughts on just the whole situation, right, Coach Sark? Him being at Texas, what gets you jiggly and makes you all excited, and what makes you be like, shit, I want to go cry in my bed.
Well, I don't have that type of feeling. I just want to see some type of stability. I would like for us to get back to our glory days. As a kid, like when you first moved here, you didn't have to go through what we went through as kids. When we were kids, and I'm talking about me and Track Majors. We're a little bit older than you. We're just a little tiny bit.
No,
but
for sure.
Yeah, but before Matt came, you couldn't find a Texas game on TV. You had to look locally. Everybody else was playing. So I guess what it is that I miss Mac because Mac is doing fantastic in North Carolina. So shout out to him for that. He's got a Heisman candidate, I think, next year we hadn't talked about. But I just
the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a beast.
Yeah. It's just a bitter. I don't know. I'm just bittersweet about it. I'm tired of seeing the changes. I understand what they want because I want the same. I want to compete. I'm tired of looking at Oklahoma. They actually won a bowl game this year, so shout out to them. But beforehand, they were getting their asses blown out.
Don't shout out to Oklahoma. What the hell? Don't shout out to Oklahoma. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck Oklahoma. You're right. They made the conference look good because we went undefeated and as a whole,
but everybody
as a Big 12.
Won. Dude, we fucking put up as many points as Oklahoma did.
Right. Well, I mean, hey, look.
And that was without Coach Sark. Baby, we're putting out 60 a game this year, baby.
So Coach Sark, I'm just riding the wave. I'm gonna ride the wave. I'm just gonna take it easy. It's like dating, right? You meet the girl, she's putting on a show for you, and instead of getting just all excited, overly excited, I'm just trying to ride the wave and just enjoy what's happening because we don't know what's happening. We don't know. Now, what I do know is that the fact that he is assembling this God squad of coaches is...
No, this squad of coaches, Jeff Banks, special teams coach from Bama.
Right.
Pete Kwiatkowski.
Right.
Defensive coordinator from Washington.
Which I did not expect.
That was crazy because the defensive coordinator from Georgia is who we thought we would get.
Right.
That was the hot hand coming out of.
He was the hottest coach out. Now, did we settle on Pete?
Yeah, this Pete guy is who we were signing. Now,
Do
really,
you think we settled on Pete? Is what I'm asking.
no, absolutely not. I think that's the guy he wanted.
You think he's what he wanted to begin with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at what Pete's done again in the Pac-12, which offenses aren't as great, you're any defensive coordinator that comes to Texas,
Right.
I feel like you have to throw away what they've done in the past
Right.
to some degree, right? I think your stats are a little bit more inflated when you come to the Big 12,
Right.
Big 12, just because of how great the offenses are.
Right.
So if your defenses only gave up 50 points twice in 8 years, that's great.
Right.
It might happen like 5 times in a year, and that's okay.
Right. Yeah.
You have to be okay with that. And I think that's the one thing we need to do. We had to get an offensively strong head coach.
I just want the players to get developed.
And somebody that would develop not just the quarterback, the entire. I don't feel like Tom Herman developed his talent and used it appropriately.
I agree. I agree.
And it really comes if we look at Bijan Robinson, right? Bijan Robinson should have been getting 30 carries a game. Bijan
Robinson should have started the day that he stepped on the campus.
We went with I want to fumble against TCU. Mark Ingram's whatever the fuck his name is. Keontae Ingram.
Keontae.
Yeah.
Who's entered the transfer portal, by the way.
Thank God. Peace, Keontae, man. Thanks for costing us.
And Roshan Johnson has actually looked really good.
I love Roshan Johnson.
Converted quarterback to running back. He looks good.
Can we give a shout out to Keontae? Hey, Keontae. I hope you go to North Texas. Was that messed up?
That was a shot, bro.
Hey, Keontae, hit me up on Twitter,
Yo,
bro.
Keontae come for your head top. Hey, listen, Keontae, look. I hate that you fumbled on the number on the one. I thought you could have punched it in, and that was maybe that was just a bad play. I don't know. It was uncharacteristic. God, why am I having grammar seizures? Ooh. Yeah, I definitely had a grammar seizure. But it wasn't him. That's not what he's normally is the battering ram.
I know. I was just being funny.
No, you was taking a shot. You shot. Anyway, I want Coach Sark to develop players. I want to see the growth within those players from year to year. Yep. I think that's
And I want to see that key positions, not just the offensive line.
Right.
As much crap as we gave the offensive line coach, who wasn't great, right?
Right.
That offensive, if you look at the young talent we had in the offensive line,
right,
and the bowl game,
yeah,
they were just as good as the starting offensive line.
I don't understand why
Herb Hand, as horrible as he is, that offensive line that started in the bowl game looked really good to me. Again, I don't like bowl game hype, right? But for as young as they are, they looked pretty solid.
Right.
Can Casey Thompson be the guy? I absolutely think he can.
He looked fantastic against Colorado.
And I think the one thing that gave me hope, right? This is the.
I think he opened up the play. I think Tom just opened it up and said, "Let go."
He was like, "I'm not going to be here anymore. Just open it up."
You think he knew that it was his last game?
He knew, dude. Tom and
Tom
CNC,
went quietly too.
CNC, they haven't gotten along in 2 years. A lot of people don't realize this. They haven't gotten along in 2 years.
That's some insider stuff that you know.
It's basically
that's not. The average fan is not going to know that.
Well,
you either have to follow or you have an insider. You have somebody that's inside that knows it.
I watch YouTube videos, man. I know everything.
Oh, come on, man. See, I watch YouTube videos too. I didn't know that CDC and Tom were beefing like that.
Well, you need to work on your search skills. I hope you out, Tim.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, a shot.
That was a shot, bro. You're an asshole. You're an asshole.
I mean, you got to come up with you're an asshole, but not a shot. I'm not taking shots. I'm fucking.
You shot at me. You did.
Did I hit it? Did it hit you right here?
No.
Ah, shit. All right. Oh, we'll try again next time.
Well, let me ask you this: how do you feel about Sark? How do you?
I am cautiously optimistic.
I like that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how
optimistic am I?
Yeah, because you're at a 10.
I'm cautiously optimistic out of 10. Now,
what the fuck?
Wait, it doesn't make sense. Okay,
how
optimistic am I? Man,
realistically, because I'm at like a
7.
I'm at like a 4.
What?
Think about what we've had within the last 3 years or the last 4 years.
The one thing, and there's only one. There's actually one thing that gives me the optimism that I have.
And what's that? The flipping of Quinn Ewers?
No, I don't care about that shit.
Okay.
The fact that he just made a 3-star recruit a Heisman finalist.
Okay. That's different. So
That's my cautious optimism. Which shows me the one thing that we've lacked at Texas since Mac Brown left, the development of players, specifically at the quarterback position. Because if we look at when
you got Jake Locker in the NFL, drafted in the first round.
Who?
Sark.
Got who?
Jake Locker.
Oh yeah, Tua.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So he developed. He had a Heisman finalist in Tua.
Right.
Heisman winner in Jalen Hurts.
No, Jalen didn't win that year. That was
okay. So another
Tyler won that year.
Okay,
because he's only been there 2 years, but he had 2 finalists there as well.
Both at the quarterback position.
Right.
And
because even though Jalen was at Oklahoma,
everybody likes to suck off Jalen Hurts, but
Jalen Hurts was not a bad quarterback.
He's just an okay quarterback.
But
sorry, I think
you hating.
No, I'm not.
You hating.
No, I'm not.
Jalen Hurts was not bad. Did he get benched in the national championship?
I didn't say he
I think
was
they
horrible.
did that on purpose.
I think he was okay.
I think they did.
Not saying he's not bad.
I think Georgia was getting the best of him.
You saying he's not bad and me saying he's just okay. It's the same fucking thing.
You shooting shots. Anyway.
Okay. So anyway, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll give it a 7.
But you're at that's high as fuck.
I said 10.
You said 10 at first.
I wanted to get you hyped because this is my favorite topic.
Okay.
You hyped now? Clearly, because you stood up in your chair, man. You're like standing up now.
You're an asshole. Come on, man.
So 7. And then I just think he develops quarterbacks. And that's been our biggest problem. If you take a look at Tom Herman, right? Mm-hmm. He went to bat and he went to hell with Sam Ehlinger. He was going to do or die with Sam.
Yeah.
Sam got worse as the years progressed.
Yeah, he dropped significantly. His passing yardage dropped.
Passing yardage, touchdowns, his ability to protect.
But his rushing went up.
But it didn't matter because he didn't win games. He's not NFL ready. He's gonna probably get drafted in the 4th or 5th round.
Did you think Sam was gonna come back after this year?
No, I had after knowing what happened after this year.
Right.
I didn't think he was gonna come back. At some point you just have to realize you are what you are.
Right.
And you couldn't get it done.
I think he's gonna go holler at Trent Dilfer and try to.
He can go holler at whoever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
But he's not here anymore, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, he's gone.
He regressed.
Right.
I highly believe that. Year over year, you can blame it on the injuries, and part of that is
he only had one significant injury, and that was the last game that he played.
And part of that is Tom Herman's fault.
Yeah.
I don't think the offensive line got as good. I feel like the younger guys in the offensive line were better than the older guys. Now, Sam Cosby's going to be a 1st-round pick.
Right.
Had a 1st-round pick in Connor Williams.
Right.
Who runs around with his head cut off in the NFL. So that's cool.
He's too small.
Yeah.
Especially
Sam Cosby's size, because I feel like I get the same vibes. Great footwork, but he's smaller.
He is smaller. He's gonna. So we got to look at what Connor Williams was. Connor Williams was the swing guy at Texas.
Yep.
Even though he started out at right tackle, he played every position on the offensive line, which is good, right? Because
Swiss Army knife.
Right. He was able to protect Sam on the left end. Mm-hmm. He was able to fast enough to get out on the right side.
Yep.
He was athletic enough to get out on the right side. But what that translates to in the NFL is you got to think when he went to Texas or when he went to the Cowboys, at that time that he got drafted by the Cowboys, he had Tyron Smith, he had Travis Frederick, he had what's my other guy? Jesus Christ, I just drew a blank. He had La'el Collins, and he had what's my guy's name? He retired. No, Travis Frederick retired.
I thought the entire Cowboys line retired.
It felt like it. It felt like
they're
it. Anyway, he was plugged into a line where he really didn't have any wiggle room until people started getting injured, right? So then as you transition over to the pro game, you realize that I'm not playing against people that are smaller than me.
Yeah.
You're going to play against Chase Young. Chase Young is 6'6", 6'5".
Right. And you want me to play left tackle.
Right. And you're playing right tackle because La'el Collins got injured. So I don't know. I just felt like he hasn't transitioned well. Okay. What I hope happens is I hope that they find I think they should put him at center.
I think that would be great.
I think they should put him at center in Dallas.
I think but here's the other thing that I'm really optimistic about. We just went and got offered Zach Rice,
right?
Who's the number 1 offensive lineman in the nation,
right?
5-star recruit,
right? That was
When's the last time we offered a 5-star recruit on the offensive line anything?
Shit, I don't know.
A hamburger, something.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I think we're making progress there. I think that's the Coach Sark effect.
Do you think
he commit?
Do you think Coach Sark is taking more chances than Tom Herman?
Yes, I think
as far as recruiting is concerned.
Dude, so here's the thing about Texas that I think head coaches love.
Right.
It's so easy to recruit in Texas.
It is because all of the damn Texas players are going to fucking Ohio State, Oregon, Oklahoma, for God's sakes.
You drive down 35, you go down to fucking
TCU,
Westlake,
Baylor. What the fuck? Baylor?
Yeah.
Do you know what's in Baylor?
But see, that's what
construction.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
Though.
Waco. Get your shit together.
You have 35 and you can see the stadium.
I don't give a fuck about that stadium. Actually, that stadium's kind of
cool. Hey, hold on a second.
I'm shooting you. Hey, look, your stadium is pretty fucking cool.
But here's the thing. Recruiting in Texas is easy.
It should be.
You get in your car, you drive down 35, go down to fucking 360. You got Westlake there. Keep going. You got Lake Travis.
Right.
That's where you're getting all your quarterbacks. Don't go anywhere else. Don't sniff anybody. Don't look.
There's good quarterbacks in inner city Austin, dog. You got to give those kids a chance. And you know what? You know what the problem with that is? I know that, but that's you just said 2 schools. You said Westlake and Lake Travis. There are kids all over fucking Austin, and guess where they end up going? To Oklahoma and busting your ass every year.
Hey, you have to that guy from what's the Dallas? No, not Dallas Carter. What's that school name?
South Lake Carroll?
Jaquindon Sanders.
Huddle.
No, bro, he's in fucking Dallas. The dude.
Jatavius Sanders. Baby Thanos. Shout out to him.
Hey,
6'3". He looks like a fucking defensive end, bro.
Bro, and he jumps like.
If you don't know who Jatavius Sanders is, it's this gentleman. He is a senior. He just won a 5A. He just won a 5 or was it 6?
5A. It was Friday night.
Yeah, so he just won a 5A championship. And he is the receiver. He was the star receiver there at Dayton. Is it Ryan?
Dayton Ryan.
Dayton Ryan at Dayton Ryan High School. This kid went viral because he had a cornerback draped over his back, and he just went to he jogged to the end zone. It didn't even look like he was running full speed. He jogs to the end zone. The quarterback drops back, throws the ball up in the end zone, and he catches it with one hand with the cornerback draped over him. He looked like Thanos.
It was crazy.
Clearly bigger than everybody out there.
That guy's coming to Texas.
Even some of the offensive linemen. Like, I'm excited about that kid. If that kid comes in and he's doing that, then yeah, I mean that's something. But that was Herman. That wasn't Sark though. But what I'm hoping
is Sark going to develop.
This is thank you. That right there is what I want to see some development because he's coming in early. He comes in next week.
Yeah, he just texted me. I'll be here in a little bit actually.
That's not true. Don't. That's not true.
That's not a gunshot. It was supposed to be a laughable moment. What the hell is wrong with you?
That was a terrible moment. You're going to look back at it and you're going to wish you never said that shit. Anyway, what I'm hoping is, Coach Sark, that you get out here and you recruit not only at Westlake and fucking Lake Travis. Don't get me wrong. Great schools have provided great players. We got Nick Foles out here, Big Dick Foles out here with, they call him Big Dick Foles because he won the Super Bowl. You know, he stole Carson Wentz's job when he got hurt and fucking won the Super Bowl. He's got a stadium outside of Philadelphia Stadium.
Is it actually named after him?
It's a statue of Nick Foles.
No, it's not. That's a real thing.
That is a real thing.
Oh shit! I thought
that's a real thing.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
How do you think Carson Wentz feels?
He got a Super Bowl ring.
He took that team that far.
He did. He had that year. He was blowing people out, and he had a.
That could have been Carson Wentz.
I mean, Carson Wentz had an MVP year. It could have been him, but it wasn't. At the end of the day.
Anyway.
So again, to go back to Sark, what I'm hoping that he not only recognizes that there is talent necessarily, like not in just Lake Travis, not just in Dallas, not just in the greater Austin area, as far as Westlake and Lake Travis, there are kids in here that are in inner city Austin. We had a kid that just committed to Clemson over Oklahoma and Texas. He had Texas at number 1 and decommitted.
Where did he go to school?
LBJ.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Man, that's a big.
he was he was a 4-star, maybe a 5-star running back. We don't have facts here. But he decommitted from Texas and committed to Clemson.
Crazy.
That was in that span in October where we just started losing commits. We lost Bowman,
I think
which
that's
is
when
the
I
same
started to
teammate that was with
realize-
Jatavius Sanders and Dayton Ryan.
I think that's when I started to realize. I think the Tom Herman era was over. It was kind of a whirlwind,
That
right?
was a hard week, and then we lost.
And then we lost to Iowa State.
Right.
You lose to Iowa State. You lose Quinn Ewers. You lose a running back.
Right.
You lose a wide receiver. That was supposed to build this class out, right?
Right.
And then that's kind of
That would have propelled us to a top 5 school, a
Something
top
is
5
happening.
program for recruiting.
Something is happening. So, anyway, speaking of college football playoff and not getting fair chances and missing out on the inner city school kids, the college football playoff
Needs to be expanded.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that. You know, Alabama blew the brakes off of Ohio State. Thank you, Coach Sark, for making us look good.
I think that was it. We needed that. We need as Sark needed that.
Yep.
Because that was going to give him that feeling that you have. I think that's what was going to spread nationwide. All eyes was on them, on Clemson. All eyes was on Ohio State. All eyes were on Bama, and Bama.
Nobody was watching Notre Dame. Let's just be honest.
No, nobody. We all knew that Notre Dame was not going to pull off the upset. That's why I said those 3 teams: Clemson, Ohio State, Bama. Those are the teams that everybody had eyes on. Clemson, not this year. They'll be back. We all know that. I can't remember. I'm not going to say that kid's name.
The kid from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ua Ungalele. I think that's what.
Something like that. I saw him on Madden. I was going to pick him up for my team. And I traded for Sam Darnold.
That was a stupid trade. You should have went with the younger quarterback. Anyway, yeah.
9-2.
Fair enough. Anyway, the college football playoff
expansion. Let's start with the amount of teams. Is 8 teams right?
8 teams is fine.
Why?
I say you get your 6 in, you get your top 6, and then you get your 2 at large.
Who's your top 5? Power 5, right?
Power 5.
Okay, so you get 5.
Power 5 and 3 at large.
There should be 3 at large. I think there should be. If you do 8, right?
Right.
You do Power 5.
Right.
2 at large.
Okay.
1 mid major. You have to make the mid major relevant.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Right?
I'm down with that.
Coastal Carolina.
Now, okay, let me ask you this. All right, let's say Coastal Carolina gets in there, right?
Yep.
Do you pick Coastal Carolina over an undefeated Army team?
Yes. And I think the way you decide, you know what? Okay.
Okay. Look, hold on. Let me throw a wrench in there right quick. Okay, an undefeated Army team beats Oklahoma because they play Oklahoma. They beat Oklahoma. Even if it's a close game, they beat Oklahoma. Do you pick Coastal Carolina over Army if they beat Oklahoma and Oklahoma is in the playoff?
No, I guess. Well, first, does Army fall under a mid-major?
They're an independent.
So
they kind of have that. They got this. I mean, they kind of fall in the same line with Notre Dame, right? So if Notre Dame has a decent schedule, which they have within the last, I want to say 5 or 6 years, then they would be considered, especially with them transitioning to the ACC. The Big Ten is just pretty much been Ohio State.
This is what I think you do. We're worried about all these bowl games, right?
Right.
You do a mid-major tournament.
Turn the bowl season into a mid-major tournament? No. Fuck no.
You take like an Army.
That's boring.
You take an Army. Wait, was BYU versus Coastal Carolina boring? That was a good ass game.
That was something special. That was different.
Right. But what if you have teams that are that good? You have it. I mean, it's not any different than college basketball doing conference tournaments. You're not doing conference tournament. You're doing mid-major tournaments, right? And it's not like an extensive tournament. It's 2 games.
Right? College basketball and college football are different.
The winner of that tournament gets into the college football playoff.
You're not going to find an Appalachian State every year. I don't think so.
You're not expected to.
Right.
But here's the thing. In college basketball, there's never a guarantee that a 15 is going to be a 2 or 11 is going to be a 4 or whatever, right? You're kind of running off the same assumption that potentially a Coastal Carolina could get lucky one day.
Right.
And they beat an Alabama. They could get lucky one day. Is it likely? No. But can it happen? That's the whole point. We're not going to sit there and dude, in the last 5 years,
I just don't want a massive tournament of mid majors.
It doesn't have to be big.
I personally don't want to see
4
that.
teams. Doesn't have to be
so
big.
2 games.
2 games. 3 games. 3 games.
3 games.
Right. And then get rid of the bowl season. I
So
think
you're
bowl
saying-
season is a waste of time. Waste of time.
I like bowl season.
I don't like bowl season.
I'm gonna tell you why I like.
I don't want to see.
Okay, so here's why I like bowl season.
I think the meaning of it has gotten big to become a joke.
Okay, well, yeah, that too. And kids opting out, I get it. It's a business. I'm not a fan of it, but I get it. The reason why I like bowl season is because we do find out who these younger kids are, or you do check out that one Coastal Carolina game, and then you find out that their starting quarterback is a sophomore. He's had a magical season, and we find out that he's going to enter the transfer portal and end up at Florida State.
Yeah,
that's why I like bowl season.
So you're a hardcore fan, right? That's why you.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
But for your casuals out there, they don't give a crap about,
but
Joe Joseph at Coastal Carolina.
Right. That's why I'm saying I don't want a massive
14.
mid-major tournament.
14. You expand the college football playoff to 8. You have 5. Your Power 5.
Okay.
Your two majors.
Okay.
Right. Your 2 at large.
Right.
The winner of the fucking 4-team mid-major bowl.
God, we're gonna get demonetized. We dropped a lot of fucking F-bombs.
Oh, that's what's up. Hey, you two, what it do?
But yeah, okay. I can ride with
simple.
that. I can ride with that.
Right.
I can ride with that.
And-
Am I gonna honestly am I gonna watch it? Probably not.
That's
I'm not gonna watch that.
But
And
then
I probably
once you-
won't watch. Where would you put the mid-major at? You're gonna put them at the last seed?
They'll get the last.
They automatically get 8.
Yeah.
So you play number 1. So that means Bama's gonna roll through them.
I mean, most of the time, yeah.
Ohio State, Clemson, you're gonna roll through them.
Where else would you put them? You put them in the middle?
I don't know.
That's kind of what you. I don't know the logistics. Here's the thing: the idea because you
And the
thing.
college football playoff committee is a fucking joke. You put Notre Dame in there, and they got their asses handed to them the week before. That was stupid.
I mean, let's be honest. They could have put Texas A&M in there and repeat would have happened.
I would have been.
But also, you know what? Texas A&M would have probably still lost.
It wouldn't have been
probably
that
been
bad.
closer.
It wouldn't have been
I
that
think
bad.
Texas
I think it
A&M
would have been
got better.
more entertaining.
Yeah.
You put Notre Dame in there a week after they got steamed. What made them think that they deserved a playoff playoff berth?
Well, Tim, because Joe from State Farm was on the committee.
Hold on, I got a phone call. Hello, this is Tim with Us on Everything podcast. Who is this? Who is this? Oh, I can't hear you. Let me call you back in 10 or whenever I'm done. Anyway, sorry about that, guys.
Wow, that was a failed experience.
Yeah, it was definitely felt. I thought with Bluetooth was still connected. It wasn't.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so the thing is when you have a mid-major, even the way I'm thinking about it,
Okay.
that last seed,
Right.
that's equivalent to a 16 facing a 1 in the NCAA tournament.
That's probably
kinda how
so.
I'm
That's going to
thinking.
get the lowest viewership.
That's how I'm thinking about that game, though. But if you look at the last 4 or 5 years, right,
Right.
those 16s and those 15s have gotten pretty damn close.
Okay.
So over time, the expectation is that they're going to get the visibility.
Okay.
Joe Schmo and Maynard is going to be like, shit, let me go to Coastal Carolina.
Okay.
You're not going to get, you can't also expect, the reason why we know what the college football playoff is.
Okay.
It's been 5 years and the same teams have been in it.
Yeah.
So we know what it is.
And viewership has been down, but they're still pulling over 15 million people, which is
Still know what it is.
better than the NBA Finals this
Right.
year.
You still know what it is.
Right.
I can assume over time that mid-major, assuming it's the same one, right?
Right.
But they're earning their way that way.
Right.
It's the same one. They're going to eventually get some players that'll help you knock off an Alabama sometime.
Right.
Again, you're doing it off the basis, off the chance that something happens.
Okay.
But yeah, those are my final thoughts on that.
All right. Well, before we close out here, we got the final four. Who do you pick? Who you have going?
Yeah, good. So
And the,
Packers in the conference championship game, right?
Yeah.
I got Aaron versus Josh Allen, who I loved in that draft, by the way.
I don't know. I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers because again, I feel like they are destined to win.
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna roll with the Chiefs unless something happens within the next week and they say that Patrick Mahomes is not playing.
Yeah.
In the end,
I had Packers Bills when the playoffs started.
we've talked off air and you've definitely had that. But yeah, do you have a score for those games?
Oh no. I don't like that scores.
Okay. Well, I have a score. I have a score.
Okay.
I have a score for the Packers game. I think the Packers are going to beat the Bucks by 7.
I'm not going to put a particular score to it. I think the Packers beat the Bucks by the double digits. Bucks remind me of the Titans when the Packers played the Titans just 3 weeks ago.
Right.
They just steamrolled them.
Wow. Okay. Well, I also have the Chiefs. They've never covered their point spread, which I've learned about point spreads this year. So I'm going to say that the Chiefs win by 2.
So, yeah, the Chiefs, they've won 9 straight games below 1 possession.
Right. So
that's insane.
Yeah.
I'm
staying on top of it.
Which is why I'm saying they're not the same Chiefs team.
No, they're coming
Even
into this game
with
hobbled.
Patrick Mahomes with the pinched nerve.
Right.
It will limit him.
Right.
And I think the Bills defense takes advantage of that.
I think
the Bills win by a field goal.
So the main reason why I'm picking the Chiefs is because of 2 things. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That's the only reason why I have the confidence enough to say that they're going to win by 2. Is because of Andy Reid.
I love Josh Allen.
Right.
I love Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is
and this is his coming out party.
Josh Allen is what Cam Newton was 10 years ago.
And he's only been in the league 3 years.
But he's better.
And he's only been in the league 3 years. So I think this is Josh Allen. This is the Josh Allen. This isn't his coming out party to like the hardcore football fan.
Right.
This is his, hey, Mr. Casual. My name's Josh Allen. How's it going?
Right.
This is that coming out party.
Right.
And
Okay.
I think he's going to shred that defense.
Okay. We'll see. Yeah, man. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. Championship Sunday is going to be crazy.
Love Championship Sunday.
Yeah. But again, I'm glad you guys.
Pluckers this week? We doing the Pluckers thing?
Yeah, we can go to Pluckers. I'm down.
Pluckers.
Yeah, I'm down. For sure. So I thank you guys for showing up with us today. This is episode 1. Again, this is Us on Everything podcast. Just remember to follow us on all social medias. We'll put those up at the end of the video. And do you have anything?
Nah, man. Enjoy Sunday, dude. It's going to be a good one.
All right, man. I'm your host, TimWayne.
The UncleGhandi.
Hey, remember, if you can't find anywhere, look for the North Star. Find your way home, man. We're out.